Walk into any wood stove shop in the country and they will sell you a $40 high-temp silicone caulk kit for sealing the joints between your stovepipe sections. You take it home, squeeze the gun, smear it in. 6 months later, it has cracked from the heat, and the joints are leaking flue gas back into your room and pulling cold air down your chimney. The wood stove industry has known since 1953 about a $2 paste the Appalachian ridgefolk used to seal those joints for the life of the stove. They quietly stopped publishing the recipe in 1971. My name is Cyrus Hadley. I have been a hearth-mason and chimney sweep in Upper Boone County, West Virginia for 31 years. I have crawled into every kind of wood stove, brick fireplace, and metal stovepipe junction this corner of the state has ever produced. I am going to tell you about a $2 paste my grandfather mixed in a coffee can that solves the most common, most invisible efficiency: leak in every wood-heated house in America, from the trailer house down in the holler to the rebuilt cabin up on the ridge. This is not a banned document. It is not a hidden conspiracy. The chemistry of clay and ash sealing is in every refractory engineering textbook from before the war. The trick is what engineers call refractory sealing. What got buried is the habit of mixing it, because the wood stove industry started selling a $40 high-temperature silicone caulk tube in 1971, and the local hardware store stopped carrying the dry clay and ash bags the old hearth tenders bought for $2 a piece. Here is what a leaky stovepipe joint cost you on a January night. 1. You can see a faint smoke wisp curling out of every joint when the fire is roaring. That smoke is paid-for fuel going into your living room air instead of up the flue where it belongs. 2. Cold air is being pulled down the chimney from the top, sucked through the gaps in your stovepipe joints to replace the volume of flue gas escaping below. Your stove fights the draft instead of riding it. 3. There is gray ash deposit on the ceiling above your stove that you wipe down every spring. That ash came from inside the pipe. 4. At each joint where flue gas escapes laterally instead of going up, condensation forms, and creosote builds at that exact spot 10 times faster than along the rest of the pipe. Every chimney fire I have ever investigated started at a leaky joint. 5. You are burning 15 to 20% more wood than you need to keep the same room warm. The physics is plain. Inside a running stovepipe, the flue gas pressure is slightly positive. Hot gas wants to push out through any gap. Meanwhile, the chimney above is generating draft that is slightly negative. Cold air wants to come down through any gap. Wherever a joint is not perfectly sealed, both forces are working against you at the same time. Stove engineering studies put the efficiency loss between 12 and 20%, depending on how many joints you have and how loose they are. On a typical stovepipe with 3 or 4 sections, 15% is the safe number. The wood stove industry's answer is a $40 tube of high-temp silicone caulk rated to 600 degrees Fahrenheit. A stove burning hardwood at full draft hits 800 to 1000 degrees inside the pipe. The silicone hardens, cracks, and lets go in 1 or 2 heating seasons. You rebuy the tube every year. You will spend more on caulk in 5 years than the stove cost. The ridge folk in coal camp country had a different answer. 2 scoops of fine red clay from a creek bank. 1 scoop of fine wood ash from the bottom of the stove. A splash of water. Mix to peanut butter consistency. Smear around each joint with a putty knife. The first fire you light bakes it into a hard, slightly flexible ceramic seal that expands and contracts with the metal of the pipe at the same rate. It will outlast the stove. Here is how you mix it, and it really is this simple. You need a bag of fine red clay, $2 at any pottery supply store or pulled straight from a creek bank in spring. You need fine ash from the bottom of a wood stove that has burned hardwood, such as oak, hickory, and maple. Softwood ash is too resinous and will not bind right. You need an old coffee can and a putty knife. The whole job takes 1 afternoon. Mix 2 parts clay to 1 part ash by volume in the can. Add water a splash at a time and stir until you have a paste the texture of peanut butter, stiff enough to hold a peak on the putty knife, wet enough to spread without crumbling. Application is 6 steps. 1. Let the stove go completely cold and wire brush every joint clean of soot and old caulk. Bare metal both sides. Anything less and the paste will not bond. 2. Mix only as much paste as you will use that afternoon. It firms up in the can within 4 hours. 3. Work the paste into the joint with the putty knife, pushing it deep into the seam from both inside and outside if you can reach. 4. Smooth the surface with a wet finger like grout. 5. Light a small kindling fire, low draft, for 30 minutes only, then bring the fire up to normal heat. This is the cure cycle, and it bakes the paste into ceramic harder than the steel of the pipe itself. 6. The joint is done. No waiting, no reapplication. You are done for the life of the stove. A few honest cautions. 1. Use only red clay, not the gray bentonite they sell as cat litter or potter's slip. Bentonite shrinks too much when it dries and the seal cracks open. Red iron-oxide clay holds its volume. 2. Hardwood ash only, never softwood. Pine and fir ash contain too much resin and the paste will smolder instead of curing. 3. Never apply over a creosote-coated pipe. Creosote will ignite under the cure fire and you will have a chimney fire on the spot. Scrape every pipe down to bare metal before you start. Have a chimney sweep clean it for $50 first if you cannot. The Hearth Industry Stove Association quietly pulled the clay and ash recipe from its dealer training literature in 1971. The same year, the first $40 tube of high-temperature silicone caulk shipped from the silicone makers to the wood stove distribution chain. The shop owner who sells you a tube every spring is not lying to you. He was never taught the alternative. Trade school removed it. The trick survived only in places where the grandfather did the work the way his grandfather did it, in coffee cans, in tool sheds, on creek banks in spring. This weekend, walk down to the nearest creek bank, scoop 1 cup of red clay, dry it in your oven at low heat, sieve out the gravel, and mix it with 2 cups of cold wood ash from the bottom of your stove. Apply to every joint of your stovepipe. Run the cure fire. Tell me in the comments below how many years your last tube of silicone caulk lasted before it cracked. Next time I will walk you through the damper, adjust the ridge fork used 4 times a day to capture another 30% of the heat your stove generates. Use a thing right. A tight joint is a quiet stove.